Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am honestly so thrilled to share this story with you because, well, we're looking at a truly fascinating case study. It's got human behavior, family dynamics, and honestly, one of the most masterfully executed practical jokes I've ever seen. Today we're breaking down the anatomy of a sweet prank. We are going to look at how a single beautifully crafted box of sweets completely derailed the ecosystem of a perfectly disciplined role model household. It's just this brilliant look at what happens when our absolute best laid plans crash headfirst in irresistible temptation.
So let's just dive right in by asking the core question that drives this whole narrative. You know how in physics we always talk about the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object? Well, in the psychology of a household, what happens when an unstoppable temptation meets an immovably disciplined family? To really grasp the sheer magnitude of this collision, we've got to understand the two opposing forces at play here.
And this really perfectly illustrates the massive contrast. On one hand, you have the family's baseline. These guys are absolute sticklers for health norms. We're talking home-cooked food, rigorous balanced nutrition, early morning walks, yoga, meditation, early bedtimes, and heavily restricted screen time. They are the literal, textbook definition of a healthy, well-oiled machine. But then, enter the disruptor. A box of Motichoor Laddu sent by their grandparents living far away in Lucknow. Now, this isn't just any sweet, okay? This is from a shop that has perfected their recipe over 100 years. We're talking incredibly fragrant, rich ghee and texture that is literally designed to melt in your mouth. It's not just dessert. It is pure, unadulterated decadence.
Now, the crucial point of tension actually begins with one really simple number, 4. That represents the 4 highly disciplined members of this household. You've got Mama, Papa, the son, and the daughter. 4 individuals who have successfully conquered their junk food cravings and who stick to their wholesome routine every single day. Basically, 4 people existing in perfect harmony. But you know what? That harmony completely vanishes the second that box is opened, because exactly 5 Motichoor Laddus arrived. Just do the math. 4 family members, 5 Laddus. In a family that practically never indulges, how on earth do you divide a prime indivisible number of incredibly rich sweets among 4 people? The mathematics of this delivery were absolutely designed for maximum disruption.
And Mama, being incredibly astute, immediately spots the trap. She knows her in-laws, and she knows for a fact this was not a packing error. Sending exactly 5 was a highly calculated move. It was a test of the family's famous discipline, practically guaranteed to spark an endless debate over who gets to claim that highly coveted final piece.
But the grandparents, they covered their tracks so beautifully. The little note attached to the box reads, so innocently, just saying, just wishing you all a happy weekend, enjoy. Talk about a masterclass in plausible deniability. This totally innocent-sounding note flawlessly masked their master plan, really just setting the perfect stage for the weekend's impending drama.
And oh boy, the drama begins almost immediately. So, after dinner, the family indulges. They each have 1 laddu, fully aware of the massive calorie hit they're taking, but they are just completely captivated by how perfect this sweet is. But that leaves 1 single laddu sitting right there in the box. And the bargaining begins. The son actually makes the first desperate pitch, offering to jog 3 additional kilometers tomorrow just to burn off the calories of that final sweet. You can see the disciplined facade is already starting to crumble under the weight of temptation.
That's when Papa steps in as the voice of reason. He suggests they just logically divide the last laddu into 4 equal quarters for the next day. Now, on the surface, everyone agrees. It's democratic, it's the healthy thing to do, but silently, everyone knows this is a total non-starter. Look, a laddu is an experience, right? It's meant to be a single, perfect mouthful. A quarter of a laddu is just frustrating. So that agreement, it was really just a temporary ceasefire.
So the family goes to bed, but nobody is actually sleeping. From the moment dinner ends, the entire night turns into this covert heist movie. Family members are faking midnight washroom trips, literally tiptoeing down the halls just to keep a watchful eye on that solitary remaining laddu. We've got a family of yogis and early risers completely derailed, policing a pastry at 2 in the morning.
Then we hit 4 a.m. Mama wakes up early, as usual, to prepare the morning tea. She walks into the kitchen and the laddu is gone. Someone cracked, someone ate it in the dead of night. Now, looking at this from the outside, it's easy to laugh, but for Mama, this was genuinely heartbreaking. And actually, scratch that. It wasn't just about missing out on her favorite sweet. It was that her family, this absolute pillar of discipline, couldn't keep a simple promise to each other to just wait until morning. The trust was entirely broken.
And that discovery completely shatters the weekend peace. The missing Laddu just drags all that latent tension right up to the surface. Mama, who is understandably hurt and frustrated, points the finger squarely at the grandparents. In her eyes, they knew exactly what buttons they were pushing, and they totally succeeded in messing up her perfectly ordered household.
And Papa, naturally feeling a bit defensive about his parents, fires back with a pretty accusatory retort. He just says, "Maybe you ate it." Wow. With that one single sentence, the family conflict hits its absolute peak. This healthy, happy, meditating family is now officially at war, all over a single missing sphere of sweetened fried gram flour. The grandparents' trap had snapped shut flawlessly.
But then, just when the tension in the house feels completely unbearable, at 4 p.m. that very same afternoon, the doorbell rings. A second delivery arrives, and the tension is instantly broken by this new number, 3. It's a brand new box, containing exactly 3 Motichoor Laddus.
And guess what? Attached to this new box is a second note from Lucknow. It just says, "Don't fight, just enjoy." It is the ultimate mic drop from the grandparents. This little note completely reveals that they knew exactly how the psychological drama of those 5 Laddus would play out. They anticipated the midnight heist, the morning discovery, the inevitable argument, the whole shebang. The sheer brilliance of the prank washes over the family, and they just erupt in laughter. Mama even admits that this mischievous care is exactly why she actually loves them.
But wait, the mystery of the midnight heist is still unsolved. So Mama decides to set one final test to root out the culprit. She issues an ultimatum. Whoever ate the Laddu last night is officially disqualified from this new box. If you want one of these 3 new sweets, you have to confess right now.
And what happens next is a truly beautiful twist in our case study. After a brief pause, both the son and the daughter speak up at the exact same time, saying, "I ate it." Mama's immediately confused and honestly upset all over again. Like, why are they complicating this? Why is everyone confessing to the exact same crime?
And this is where Papa steps in to deliver the heartwarming resolution to this entire saga. It hits him. The kids are actually lying. Neither of them wants the other to be left out of the new box, so they are both claiming guilt. They're totally willing to sacrifice their own sweet just so their sibling can have one. It's not even about the sugar anymore. It's about plain, pure love for each other. A love and care that Mama herself carefully nurtured in them. So the grandparents' master plan didn't just expose a weakness for sweets, it actually ended up highlighting the profound strength of the family's bond.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer today. And I really want to leave you with this final, kind of provocative thought. In a world that is so full of discipline, rules, and endless temptations, it's often the small, silly conflicts that reveal our true character. The grandparents' prank proved that while discipline is fantastic, the willingness to sacrifice for one another, well, that's the real sweet spot of family life. So I gotta ask you, who would sacrifice their share in your family, and who would you give yours up for? Thank you so much for joining me today, and I really hope this gave you something wonderful to think about.